Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree. Hi if you're new here, or hey if you've been here before. Today is the final day of Camp NANO July 2020 and I am here to kind of give you my final stats for the entire month. It's been such an incredibly creative month for me. I hope it's been for you guys as well, but I have honestly impressed myself with just how many different endeavors I embarked on this month and how much I've actually succeeded in those endeavors. And by the end of this, like as I'm talking to you guys today on July 31st, I'm so ready to get something out there, whether that's publishing a short story or looking into self-publishing an entire poetry book or just querying my work. I am ready to move on. So obviously some of the work that I've done is not ready to actually be queried or published, but some of it is, and some of it I was editing things, and you know, it's just I'm excited. So let's just talk about what I've actually done in the month of July. To start, I have worked on 5 different projects this entire month, and like I said, they've all been so uniquely different that I feel like that's possibly why I've been so recharged to keeping with the schedule that I created for myself. In the first 13 days of Camp NANO July, I had set out to continue my YA contemporary novel, and in those 13 days, I finished it. I had been writing so many words. I think I was averaging about 2,500 a day, and from like the 13 days, I think 10 of those days were the ones I actually wrote, with like the 2 or 3 being no like 0 word days. So within really 10 days, I wrote 26,821 words to my YA contemporary, which made my entire novel length for the first draft 56,121 words. I am blown away by my own sheer will in continuing this project because I'd put it off for several months. I just wasn't in a good headspace, and finally I was just like, let's just do it. I want to get it done with. I want to write it. And then we did. So I started off extremely strong with writing almost 27,000 words in 10 days. I'm pretty impressed with myself. After completing my YA contemporary, I decided to go back to some of the shorter projects that I had put off and put in the back burner. The first one was completing one of my chapters for a collab project that we just have a working title called Misfit Witches. And my chapter was the first chapter for this entire project. So I finished that. At the time, I had about almost 2,000 words written. So during Camp NANO, with a few days I worked on it, I added 2,694 words to have a total of 4,148 words. Now keep in mind, this is a chapter, it's a collab project, and we are all taking different characters and adding the chapters in to make a collective story. So it is a little bit lower on the word count, but it kind of makes sense for what we were doing. But that was still a pretty good number of words to be written on the page. And we completed that in week 2. For my third week, I was working on my project Salem, which was a short story set in Salem about 2 women who are falsely accused of witchcraft. I had already started this project in the past as well, and I had 2 scenes to write. So not a lot of words, but I wanted to finish it. And I did, and I totaled 2,147 words in my sprints to add to a full story of 7,210 words. I'm really excited for this one. I feel like this is a super publishable one, and it's pretty heartbreaking, I'm not gonna lie, but I would really love to see this one in a publication. The history behind Salem, the story was I was going to try to get it published into an anthology, and they were doing a call for submissions, so I had given a preview, but unfortunately they never reached back out to me, so I took that as a denial, and we're here. But I didn't want to let that down, so I finished it. Moving along, one of these goals that I had, and I talked about recently in my Author Dreams video, was to self-publish a poetry book. Now, I had taken a break from writing poetry for a while, but June hit and I just really got the urge to start writing poetry again. And I wrote one poem in June, and then this month I wrote one in full and I started a second one. So for the two poems, the one is a total of 104 words and the other one is a total of 58 so far. It's a work in progress. I'm still adding to it and editing it, but I think so far for both of those, I mean, poems aren't very long, so I wasn't going to include the word counts here, but I figured for my overall total I should. So they're going really well, and my passion to go back to poetry is burning right now. So who knows, maybe I will end up pushing up the whole concept of self-publishing a poetry book. We'll see. And lastly, in this past week leading up to the end of Camp NANO, I started from scratch a science fiction story. I think I technically started it last Friday, which was the 24th. So in the past week, I think I've only written 4 days. But out of that time, I wrote 6,236 words, which is ongoing. I am not done with this story. My goal would be to finish the story today, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time because I'm creating an entirely new planet and an entirely new species, and that's a daunting task. Even if it's a short story, I want to make it as accurate as possible, or what could be conceived as accurate. So a lot of that research and watching videos on like different theories for aliens and planets have been consuming a lot of my time this week, which is why I didn't finish. But I'm okay with that because I like to do the research and make my story the best it can be. So overall, where does that leave us for the month of July? So for the entire month of July, I wrote 38,060 words. It shouldn't really be mind-blowing considering I have written 50,000 words in a month in November of 2018. However, the fact that I only had one goal and I surpassed it and added multiple goals by the end of it just really makes me happy. I'm just so happy to be back in a creative flow, to be meeting new friends on the Bookstagram and the AuthorTube and all of these great places. I just feel like I have tapped into this potential that I didn't know I needed. So for 38,000 new words written down, obviously they're going to need editing, but that's a start. That's more than I had prior to July, which, hey, we're at it. In addition to this, I do want to just say there was, I think, 2 days in the month where I did meet up with my co-writer, Caitlin, and we were reading some of the chapters for the book that we want to query next month. We did not get through it. It's just been kind of a chaotic time in our personal lives with multiple different things, so I'm not going to get into it, but we did kind of put that on the back burner. Our goal is to have an entire day of our final read-through this coming month, so let's get into my August goals. Briefly, I just want to mention that in August, I have a lot of great plans and I'm really excited to pursue them. So in August, I would like to finish doing my final read through with my co-writer Caitlin on our fantasy story. We are about 10 chapters in, I believe, so far. So we only have, I think total we'll have like 30 chapters. I can't remember because we have a few interludes, but even if we'll just say round it to 30 or a quarter of the way there. If we sit down one day and just take the day to bang it out, we'll probably be done in 3 hours easily. However, we do need to take the time to do that. So our plan is to do one day where we're just finishing reading that. Secondly, then, we are going to start doing all of the legwork to query by the end of August. And I am hoping to vlog some of that experience to be able to share with you guys as far as the query letter and querying totally, and maybe talking a little bit about a synopsis. So that's going to be something you guys can look forward to. Additionally, once I finish my short science fiction story, I am going to go back to my own fantasy, self-written, only about myself story and start editing that again, because I got about 8 chapters for Camp April and I just wasn't feeling it. But since I've been here and having this intensity to write, I think it's time. I've actually been ruminating on some of the world building a little bit more, and I think I can make this something really worthwhile and unique. So I'm really excited to get back into that editing, and that is going to be my main focus, is working on my fantasy and working to query my co-written fantasy. Those are the 2 main goals of August. Additionally, I am going to be hosting some more writing sprints. Some of them are already posted on my channel, and I'm also going to be co-hosting with Hudson and Autumn again on their channels. And at the end of the month, I'm hoping, and we're going to see, but I'm kind of wanting to do a live show where I essentially roast myself and have a little bit of fun by reading some of my old writing. And when I mean old, I mean old. I have writing, I'm pretty sure, since first grade, and I think it would be so fun to share and kind of watch this evolution of writing personally for me, because a lot of it I have not picked back up in years. So if you're interested in that, please let me know down below. Do you want to see a live show where we kind of roast and have fun reading my old writing, or would you like it to be more of a traditional video? Let me know down below. And otherwise, guys, if you have any goals that you're hoping to complete in August, let me know down below what they are, and I wish you the best of luck with them. And until next time, I'll see you then. Bye.